Going on, people? I'm in traffic. I'm on a dark street, so you can't see me. Hold these headphones still some good. I ain't charge up the battery on these jokers. Let's see. I got the cases at 100%, so I can throw a headphone in there if needed. Can't really run out here with the lights on. Um, Basically, y'all see the title, Vote or Die. Shout out No Diddy. Ooh. When it come down to it, man, saying the least, this election was crazy. And, you know, me being 42, it still amazes me how crazy people can get. Prime example, when I say No Diddy, is because Puffy ran the whole vote or die thing in the early 2000s. And that's what got Obama endorsed and in the House. But basically, what I'm going back to the No Diddy is because of this. The way we say Diddy, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh no, Bud Files. But the reason why I was saying that, regardless to No Diddy, I mean, just simple and plain. When it come down to it, man, I mean, a lot of people going crazy because of the Trump vote. I mean, I really don't get it personally because my thing is this. Trump got in by the majority. You can't really blame any particular race or any particular gender why Trump got in. But the thing is, he got in. But everybody hit the light while you coming in. There's no need for all this crazy stuff, though. Like, all this stuff about the 4B movement that I'm hearing about, women not wanting to deal with men. I mean, honestly, it's a personal thing. If you want to do that, cool. But you can't get mad at the outcome of all the stuff that come about that 4B. And another thing, the craziness that's going in with this, people disowning their family members, jobs having conflicts. I guarantee, if you get fired, Kamala's not coming to pay your bills. Trump's not coming to pay your bills. I guarantee if you get in a fight with your cousin or your daddy or whomever and they knock your teeth out your mouth, nobody's coming to save you that's a politician. I literally seen a movement to where Kamala was going, she had did a GoFundMe for the people up in Milwaukee who was, going all crazy and stuff. And there was some people that, did some heinous things with the Black Lives Matter, and they got out under that. But that doesn't mean they didn't go to jail. They didn't serve their time. So just letting you know up front, despite all the stuff that's going on in this election, I can't believe how many grown adults are acting crazy like this. I mean, literally grown adults. I would expect some of this stuff from the 18-year-olds, the younger generation, because, hey, take it. Like I said, I'm 42. I was young. As the old people say, young, dumb, full of cum. We do crazy stuff at our age, but as we get older, we're supposed to mature and be wise. You shouldn't be doing the same stupid stuff in your early years than now you're older. You should be a little bit more responsible. But like I said, it's literally crazy how so many people are cutting off their... I understand. My uncle might have voted for Trump. Why am I going to beat him up when I see him? It's on sight. Over a vote? Why am I going to my wife? I mean, you got somebody like Julia Roberts talking about if you cast your vote, you ain't got to tell your husband. You just cast your vote and you go do what you do. So I'm like, hold on. So you mean to telling me that Julia Roberts is out here telling people, don't worry about your husband. You need to cast your vote for Kamala. And if your husband vote Trump, you ain't got to tell him. I mean, once again, that's all fine and dandy. But you mean to tell me you trying to break up households over a vote? Like, I've literally heard mixed couples getting a divorce because, this one guy was like, well, you know how you people do. He was white, telling his wife, you know how you people do. I mean, come on, man. Like I was saying about one of my friends, he got married, and it's like a 90-day fiance. He got a 90-day divorce. I mean, obviously, there was a rift between them two because you're not going to marry somebody and then get a divorce in 90 days. So something happened between that time. Just like this whole thing about the voting. You mean to tell me a vote is going to bring the racism out in you? It should have been out before that. Like, this is what people are dealing with in 2024. Like, honestly speaking. Like, come on, man. Honestly, you're going to make your family members be condemned over a vote? Like, that's where it, to me, it draws the line. Like, this is one of the main reasons why a lot of people always say you don't mix the politics and religion at work because of stuff like this. You got co-workers fighting each other. There was a lady actually trying to get her co-worker fired because he voted for Trump and she found out. And she was like, ew, I gave him some before. So I'm finna call HR and tell HR that he messed with me. Lo and behold, she did it in a group on Facebook, and a lady by the name of Daphne ended up seeing this and pressed her and was like, hey, that's not right. I mean, that's his belief. That's what he wants. You mean to tell me you're going to get this guy fired just because he voted for Trump? And, she said it jokingly. And, she did it under anonymous post. I put an anonymous name, I guess, whatever, on Facebook. And she got found out. And when she got found out under that fake page, she was like, oh, I was just playing. And the lady was letting her know, you have a real Facebook page, but you did it under an anonymous page just so you can get a guy fired. Like, I'm not understanding. We so patriotic when my person that I want to win is in the lead, but then when my person lose, I'm this mad to where I'm getting people fired. Like, I'm getting people, kicked out of their house. I'm breaking up families. Like, honestly, in my opinion, Kamala should have came out and said something about this. Like, respectfully. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't live as older people through so many elections. So you mean to tell me this is the election that takes the cake for Trump? Like, I mean, honestly, the people spoke. I mean, like they say, whoever you vote for, you in that booth by yourself. There are a lot of people who said, I know personally, a couple of guys I know who said they was going to vote for Kamala and they ended up voting for Trump when they got in there because of family ties. You got family members like you will literally, as a man, go in front of your grandma who you truly love and say, Grandma, I don't want to vote for that lady. She will shame you. Like, is that right? Like, my thing is, whoever I vote for, that's my opinion. Hey, convince me otherwise. Me and my friend, we had big dialogues against this. He said that, not trying to be vulgar, that if Kamala would have had a penis, she would have won. And I'm like, nah, that's not right. Kamala didn't win because the people noticed that all that money she was spending on them celebrities, and we out here struggling. That's why she didn't win. And it shows through her campaign that she's 20 million in debt, but she raised over $1 million. And I'm like, dude, like honestly, looking at how she's 20 million in debt, that's that may be how the economy would have ran even more in the ground. The inflation would have went up even more if she became president. Same thing with Mayor Giuliani. Shout out to Alonzo Hall, the All-Star advisor. Alonzo talked about Giuliani was running, and Giuliani spent $500,000. Well, no, it was $500,000,000 on his campaign. Something similar to that. I don't know the gist of the numbers all the way, but he was in debt with a couple of, he's in finance. He's in finance. So, I mean, you mean to no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Giuliani, it was Bloomberg. But you mean to tell me a person that's in finance can't budget their money? So this is the thing you expect from newbies, to not get it right. Now, that doesn't discredit VP Harris, and I gotta stop saying Kamala, start saying Harris. Shout out to Alonzo. I need to put a little more respect on her name as being the vice president and being a woman vice president, and calling her by her last name Harris instead of Kamala. But at the same time, like I'm saying too, is at the end of the day, when it come down to it, I think if she runs again, which I don't think is kind of shameful, but if she do run again, hopefully, she'll have what it takes to beat anybody she come against. Because you got to understand, last time when she ran, she was last in the polls to be Democrat against Joe Biden and Trump last time. She was last. Nobody wanted her to be president. Nobody was picking, nobody was looking for her. So, honestly speaking, going through this experience, she's going to know what to do better next time. Like Trump. The way Trump connected with the people this time, he lost against Joe Biden. He know how to connect with the people. If Trump was to run a third, he probably would win again if America don't see nothing change. If America sees something change, they might say, okay, I'm going to pick the other guy. But at the end of the day, looking at it, just throwing it around, Trump connected with the people. There are so many people voted for him. And you could say, well, it was the black men who voted more for Trump. What about the black women? A lot of black women voted for Trump. You can say that about the Hispanics, but there was a lot of white women who voted for Trump. A lot of white men. Oh, well, he's white, so man, give me all that stuff. At the end of the day, the American people spoke. It wasn't a black and white thing. It was a politics, situationship, all that mattered. Because at the end of the day, if whomever come to my channel, I always talk about budgeting, I always talking about finance, life insurance, and what else? Emotions, sort of trying to be like a little therapist to people, talking with them, shout out to Shay Love. I'm always thankful when she always say, have you got enough sleep today? Sleep deprivation is one of the things that a lot of people go through, to where if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not focused, and that's one of the key things that, people are losing out on, is sleep, focusing and doing the right thing. So when it come down to it, like with me, I try to focus in on that as well, to try to tell people. But the main thing I'm pushing is, the budget. I'm always talking about saving money, having more jobs, just in case something happens, I got a backup plan. I'm not depending on my job right now. I literally got a good friend. He drives trucks. He has his own company. I can go work for him tomorrow and I'll be okay. The company I work for is pretty cool. I like them. I would want more money, but I already know, me as a truck driver, getting more money, I have to hit the road. I have to go out of town. I can make way more money out of town than I can locally. But I choose, for my purpose, to be, more of a dad to my kids. That's why I'm local. All the other stuff, like the bills are good. Me and my wife are good. We can stand to make a little more money. That's nothing wrong with that. But the biggest thing is our kids, making sure our kids okay. That's one of the key things that, I'm very much passionate about, being a father. And the biggest issue is a lot of people were seeing that during the election. They were talking about the migrants. Yeah, that was a big topic. But this is the thing. If I ain't got nowhere to stay, I'm going to need to be on assistance. That's one of the biggest issues that people were talking about, and nobody just wasn't getting it. And when it came to a lot of the American people, we could talk about female productive rights all day, but if you can't afford to have no baby, you're gonna try not to have a baby. We're talking about adults, older adults that's responsible. They not out here young and all this crazy. Like, honestly speaking, if the 4B movement thing is, really a thing for most of the women want to be, and I don't have a problem with that because I'm married. I'm not looking for women anyway. I hate it for my sons, my older son, and the young men who want to get married. But it's not going to affect me because I'm married. But it might have a backlash towards the attitude in which women treat men, especially me, knowing that I'm married and I'm not trying to chase them or anything. They might approach and treat me a little better, but at the end result, when it comes down to it, like, what are we going to be doing for the future? Because to make society move, we got to have kids. We got to have family structure. My thing is this might be the awakening for a lot of people. If the women stop dealing with the men, you know what's going to happen? It's going to have men coming to the forefront looking for better results, and it's have women coming to the forefront looking for better results. Because honestly speaking, if a woman gets what she wants out of a man, she dropping all those little, I'm not dealing with man to 4 years. I'm shaving my head. And a lot of these women, man, they shaving their head, they wearing a mask, and they wearing a blue bracelet. Like, I'm learning all this stuff, and I'm like, in regards to what? Because a president won? What was the same backlash when Hillary didn't get elected? Like, y'all didn't think Hillary was more qualified to run the country. A lot of people pushing the men up under the bus about this, but y'all got to understand, there was a lot of women. America is suited and booted with what? More women than it is men. I think back in the day, there was like in Atlanta alone, the ratio was 8-1. I think now it's, pushed up to 20 something one, like 20-1. For every 20 women, it's one man. So when it comes down to it, we can say the man played the factor of the push for him to win. But if we look at the majority on all the votes in all the states, like, it's crazy. Like, we shouldn't even be having this massive argument like this, because, like I said, once again, we tearing families apart for a vote. That's why they say politics and religion are the biggest issue that you don't want to touch. Like, we literally going after each other. Family, we co-workers are getting it. Anybody. I'm talking about, you got people going to jail. This lady that grabbed this man Trump sign, she hit another dude's truck because he had a Trump flag wave, and he, man, get that flag out of there. Going crazy. Like, come on, man. At the end of the day, nobody's coming to bail you out of jail. You just going to jail for this. And even if you have a miracle or if somebody do come bail you out and help you out for the situation that you did do, You got to own up to this, that this is going to be on your record. You going to jail. You want to punch your uncle in the face because he voted for Trump. Now you got to deal with his brothers. They're older, but these old guys are wise. You got nephews. They got kids. They gonna come out. Yeah, my bad. I got these calls coming in. But like I said, man, at the end of the day, I don't see how this is a big thing where we fighting over a vote. And I can take a lot of this emotion from the women, but when I see a lot of these guys doing this, come on, man. As the young kids call it, crashing out. You about to crash out, go do some time in jail, or possibly get beat up over a vote? Like, this is what we doing. I mean, my biggest thing, like when me and Alonzo talking about this stuff, if you ain't got no money, it takes money to win a war. How many people are putting their money up to campaign for a better tomorrow for the Democrats? How many of them are doing that? Because, like I said, Kamala spent so much, like, dude, Oprah, $1 million. Eminem, $1 million. Look, Queen Latifah came out. She never endorsed nobody. She got some money. She tried to hit all the corners of celebrities and it didn't work. These celebrities, they cool. Man, I like Andre 3000, but Andre 3000 is not going to tell me who to vote for. He's not going to tell me what religion I need to be in. None of that. So, well, I mean, really, what's the big deal? Like, what we standing at? A lot of us going down this hill. A lot of us gonna down this hill to say we want to vote, and if we don't get who we want in office, we gonna have a fit. My thing is, like, the whole misinformation, the whole rhetoric, oh, Trump gonna make us slaves as black people. I mean, this is funny because last time I checked, wasn't Trump in office before? Wasn't Trump president before? Oh man, Trump gonna make us broke. Wasn't Trump before? We can say Obama signed those. Obama did the stimulus package. That's what the whole thing. Okay, the thing of it is, who cares who put that stimulus package in play? People got money. The government gave them money. I mean, you could put a face on it. Obama did. You could put a face on it. Say Trump did. They not running to the bank. They might say, oh man, Trump gave us that stimmy. But when it came down to it, it was the government gave us this money. So, I mean, being real about it, get into it with your family members, trying to fight your cousins and stuff like that. Come on, man. It's too bad out here, man. Like I said, that vote or die, that was something that Diddy came up with a long time ago, ran with it. It was a cool thing, no Diddy. But, I mean, people out here literally taking that vote or die thing serious. Man, I'm not talking to my uncle no more. Man, I'm not talking to my grandma no more. My grandma voted for Trump. There were women who were diehard Democrats all their life. Couldn't see past all the stuff that was going on in their city. All this stuff. Oh, the border's not true. The border was true. Oh, man, inflation, we're doing better. In election year, you're doing better. All before the election, no. My bad, man. I got these people calling me. I got to get my son. But, I mean, this is the crazy part about it, man. Like, it's 2024, especially, like I say, for the older adults. We shouldn't be going through this. There's literally no reason why if I have to put an app on and record myself crying, record myself acting crazy, being emotional. Like I said, I get it as a woman. You're frustrated. I mean, the whole thing where the Democrats ran on the birthrights and the ability. Like, come on now. Trump said it was going to be a state-by-state thing. My friend standing on the hill. Man, if Kamala had a penis, I'm like, dude, it's not about that. Like I told him, I personally didn't vote for her because I didn't think she was ready. That was my only issue with her. A lot of stuff that she said, give her time, and she can research and give you better results. Then we hear that when Joe Biden went into office, when he talked to Ice Cube, Trump said, I'll come up with the platinum plan, help you with this. Then you turn around, you had who? Joe Biden said, I'll talk to you when I get in office. We'll do something when we get in office. You promise me something after you win. Once you win, you don't come back on your promise. That's another reason why a lot of people didn't vote for her. She was right along with Joe Biden when Joe Biden did that. And she kind of pushed that same kind of voting strategy with a lot of these men, and she seen that it wasn't working. And don't let me forget. One of the biggest reasons why Kamala lost. This is one of the biggest reasons. Obama shaming all those black men. Waving that finger. I'm driving, but waving that finger for those men. Waving that finger. When it come down to it, man, he's shaming all those men, especially black men. But it's the thing. He didn't shame the Puerto Rican and Mexican man. That's why they voted for Trump. If he would have shamed those men, a lot of those men probably would have voted for Kamala. But he didn't shame them. It's like the whole focus was on black men. If we don't turn these black men, we not going to get the vote and Kamala not going to get in. Man, that whole map was red. The whole map was red. I'm like, what happened? Like, so woo! Like they ain't no cripping around here, man. Bloods. Like, like the guy I was talking to, Dave, the other day from finance. He said, man, when I think of blue and red, all I think about is the Crips and Bloods. He said, I'm from California, and I was dying laughing. Like, that's how I look. And then you got, like I said, everybody hit the like button coming in. Appreciate you for coming in. But this is one of the big things that, I'm talking about too, was Obama. He could have easily came out and was like, hey guys, let's go one-on-one. Let's talk about this, man. We got to get Kamala in there to help her out. She's a woman that's fighting, and you notice like he never really pushed the whole, she's a black woman, and a lot of them kind of try to mix it up because this is the thing. They all got paid. You had people literally in the arena as far as podcasting. She was paying them to promote her. Uncle Luke, man, me so horny Luke. Two Lot Crew Luke. Luke crashed out. Luke was like, if y'all men get shot in the street, don't expect me to do anything for you. Just like women did. He crashed out. Then he had to come back and apologize. I'm like, dude, why is so much heat against black men? Like I told my friend, I said at the end of the day, y'all can say these men are misogynistic. Y'all can say these men don't want to put a woman in president in there. Like, I can hear all that. At the end of the day, she needed more substance to give to the people. Like I told my friend, if she probably would have threw Joe Biden up under the bus, she probably would have got my vote. Because then I would have had somebody to blame for when I go put gas in my car. Man, at the sight of after Trump got out, don't you know when gas was like at almost $4, it was like $3 and some change. About what? I think it was like $3.80 one time that I paid. I'm talking about $138 I paid for gas. I paid more of that when Trump was in office. I think the most I paid was $175, and I got a pickup truck. But I got a what, 30, what I got, what is it, 32 gallons, 40 gallons? I think it's 36 gallons. I think I got 36 gallons. My truck holds 36 gallons. So literally, I put a lot of gas in my truck. And that was my main vehicle before I bought another vehicle, because my wife, she had a car to go to work, and I drove my truck. I had like 3 trucks, and it was crazy. I sold one, wrecked one, and I only got my big truck, and that's my work truck. I was literally driving my work truck that I normally do work around, and point blank, got a little side job. That's what I do. Shout out to Dr. Dunbar, Big Discussion 78 on YouTube. Big Discussion 78. We talk about this all the time. Working your 9 to 5 and working your 5 to 9. A lot of people are going to have to work a 5 to 9 because the 9 to 5 doesn't pay. If you're not educated, you don't want to leave, you're going to have to get something to sub for that money that you're missing out on. And a lot of people don't believe that until it really hits the fan. A lot of times you try to work overtime. Taxes will kill you in overtime. Eat that up. One time I had got a check for $3,500 for my job. They made some errors, so they ended up paying me $3,500. Don't you know I got hit with what, $1,200, something like that, in taxes? I'm like, man, what the world? But I was in the upper echelon of tax bracket where I got paid that in 1 week. So what you think they had to do? Back in the day when I used to work, and I was making them $2,200, $2,500 checks every week. Man, they was stinging me for taxes, boy. That's like one time back in the day when I did make those $3,000 checks, and I was bringing home $18,000 and $2,000. And I'm like, man, taxes is killing me. But that's the biggest thing. A lot of people are seeing this. That's why they cast their vote that way. Especially with the overtime. Kamala piggybacked off of that. But overtime, man, look how much taxes you're going to pay in that. Look how they hitting you on stuff like that. That time and a half. You might as well didn't do time and a half because it didn't amount. You paid more in taxes. That's why I believe in just getting a second job. Working a side hustle. Uber, whatever you're doing. Some people handy. Start a little handyman service. Some people good with craft. Sell stuff online. You know how much stuff around your house is trash to you, but it's a gold to somebody else. You have gently used stuff you don't even use no more, clothes you don't wear, shoes you can't fit. Sell this stuff and make you some money. Then you buy the stuff, make some money to selling it. Because honestly speaking, at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of stuff going on out here. Americans, we got to be prepared. And that goes for everybody. Americans, we got to be prepared. You got the rich can lose it all in a bad deal. You got the poor can just remain poor. Where you gonna go up? Where you gonna go up? Where you going down when you already down? So just saying that. So it's more of a relaxed mode for you. But the people who are in the middle class, they don't want to go back down, So they try to hold, their place. So it comes down to it, man, at the end of the day. You working, you providing for your family, you trying to do the right thing. There's some things that you want to get done for your family. There's some things that you try to work on, try to keep things in play. Like I always say with my kids, man, dude, I done went from tutoring my kids, getting my kids involved in so much stuff, kids bad in math. Man, I went and got a tutor. For several years, I was on and off with tutors. You know how much a tutor costs? Like, I was paying one tutor $30 an hour. I had another tutor paying $45, $50 an hour. And then they was in extracurricular activities, karate. I'm like, man, that's a lot. I'm not rich. I'm not saying I could afford all that stuff, but when it comes to my kids, I made a way. You know, trying to do things for the family. Taking trips. My wife, she loves going on vacation. I try to provide that for her comfort. When I talk about that mental mind state, that gives her mental mind state of relaxation by taking vacations. Relaxation by taking vacations. So when it comes down to it, like I said, the economy knew who they were voting for. People got in their feelings, and I never really voiced my opinion about the presidency as much as I did this year, because it was, honestly speaking, man, you mean to tell me you gonna stop being friends with me because I voted for Trump? Okay, bye. People are showing their true colors. Family members, dude, you gonna stop being my uncle because I voted for Trump? Grandma, I can't come to the family Thanksgiving dinner because I voted for Trump. I literally seen this guy got kicked out of his house for voting for Trump. And then the bad part of it was a Trump supporter told him he can come stay at the house until he get on his feet. Man, honestly, it made Democrats look so bad this election. It's like all the Trump supporters that went crazy last time and crashed out and stormed the Capitol, they all became Republicans because they all became Democrats because the Republicans didn't show them no love for crashing the Capitol, and then turned around and did the same thing with the Democrats on this election. So I'm like, are those the same people that switch sides, or we just always had crazy people and we never seen them? Like, what's going on with that? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to divorce my wife because she picked a side. She could pick Kamala. For all I know, she probably did. We talked about it. There's no, ruling over my house with an iron fist. But, I just rationalize with my wife. What's understood don't need to be understood. If we having a simple discussion, and if you feel something different and you say that, I'm all for that. I'm not like I say, ruler with an iron fist. Like I tell my wife sometimes when it comes to the kids, hey, this is dictatorship in this household. We rule with an iron fist. This is dictatorship. It's us against the kids. I joke with her and play. For people that come to my channel, I'm joking on the way I talk. But the point of it is, honestly speaking, man, I can't even imagine, going at my grandma because she voted for Kamala and I voted for Trump. I can't even imagine cussing my aunt out who voted for Kamala. Even if she voted for Trump, that's my aunt. I gotta show some type of respect. That's how I was raised. Like, come on, man, we wilding out, acting up, acting crazy over a vote. Like I said, nobody coming to save you. If you out here wilding out, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. And when it comes to it, you lose your job. The same mom you cussed out, you can't go back there with her. Same dad you snapped on, you can't go stay him. You burnt your bridge. A lot of kids burn their bridges and they can't come back. And when it comes down to it, man, all this over a vote, man, honestly speaking, isn't that serious? I'm about to lose my livelihood over a vote? And then the next 4 years, I'm going to be doing the same thing again. That, to me, is very emotional as a man and irresponsible as a young lady. There is no reason why you're going to be sitting up here going that crazy over a vote to where you're losing your livelihood. Relationships are getting canned over a vote. Like, honestly speaking, this is what we doing in America now? Like I say, the young kids use crashing out. We just say going dumb with it. Back in the day, man, ain't no way. If I didn't get my way voting somebody in, I'm going crazy. Cornel West ran for presidency. I think he do it almost every year. Will he ever get elected? Maybe not. But at the same time, when he runs and I vote for him and he don't get elected, man, I'm not gonna go crazy. Kanye West was on the ballot. If Kanye West ran and he didn't get elected, I'm not gonna go crazy for Kanye. You know, Kanye is a great artist. I don't think he can run the country like that, but great artist. Shout out to him. But my thing is this: I'm not going crazy for no vote. I'm not divorcing my wife. Like that whole thing, that was disingenuous with Julia Roberts telling people, when you go into that voting booth, you don't got to tell your husband who you vote for. And the husband sat out there, did you vote right? I'm like, these commercials, man, y'all trying to wreck households. I'm talking about, I'm not even going to say it, all these women that were going against the whole thing of the household needs to vote on one. It ain't even about that. Because like I said, when you go in that booth, it's your choice. Like the women say, my body, my choice. When you go in that booth, your vote, your choice. I could say I voted for Trump and I voted for Kamala. Nobody would know unless I say something. And then on top of that, I could be lying. What's her name? Azalea Banks. Controversial. Always into a lot of craziness, a lot of controversy. She literally told everybody she was voting for Harris. I'm talking about everybody she was saying that to. When it early voted, she showed where she voted for Trump. Like, honestly. Tell you one thing, do another. She didn't care. It wasn't, like her to kind of really vote like that. And she didn't care. She was just, like I said, controversial. Controversy sells. She had everybody in the uproar. Oh, she said she was voting for Harris. And she ended up voting for Trump. This blah, 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 blah. She liked that because you know why? It keeps her name relevant in the media. Everybody's going to keep talking about her, saying stuff about her. Controversy sells. Honestly speaking. Controversy sells. When it comes down to it, a lot of people do that. They put their name out there. They do all this stuff to what? Enhance notoriety, because they want people to look for them, know of them, talk about them, looking up their name. You know how many people, when you visit somebody's Twitter or X, and you visit somebody's Instagram, looking up them, Google search their name, all you're doing is putting their name on the top search list to where, who is this Azalea Banks? Man, who is this Julia Roberts? When you start searching like that, Google's keeping track of that. So guess what? They start popping up in the feeds. Most search topics. That's how a lot of people do their YouTube topics. If you're a YouTuber or a content creator, and the best way to get noticed, hit those hot trending topics. I stay in my lane. I don't really do that, but at the end of the day, hey, when it comes down to it, and for the win, I'm gonna go with what I want to go with. And a lot of times, man, we have these situations where we have issues, we have problems. How are we gonna solve them? We can't solve them by fighting each other, going at each other, talking bad about each other. Man, we gotta be responsible. We're adults now. Like I told you, I'm 42 years old. Ain't no way I'm finna go fight my uncle or somebody because they voted for Trump or whoever. Like, nah, we not doing that. I'm not out here wilding. Man, I got more to life to bring this vote and me going to jail. Like, honestly speaking, man, me going to jail over a vote because I'm fighting a family member. Man, I'm cussing out my grandma. Man, dude, my granny is one of the most loving women when she passed, but thing is, she hit below the belt. I didn't heard my granny say little stuff. I mean, it was crazy one time. She had my uncle in the room. You know, I'm young, wrestling school. I'm pretty fit in high school. My uncle, he's twice my size. But my thing of it was, my skill and mindset, you know, he got experience. I know he wasn't going to touch my granny. I knew that. So if it did go down, but she told my uncle, she was like, yeah, you know, I'm old. Yeah, I do this and do that to you. She said, go on ahead. Swing on me. Go on ahead. Do this to me. And he was just, mama, just, he got the cussing. You know, he backed up. Mama, you know, and she was like, go ahead. And this was like when she was like in the 80s. You know, my granny approaching 90, she was like still sharp. Talking junk and everything. And my uncle's like, man, you know, no, you won't, I won't do that to you. Nowadays, man, millennials are crashing out. Let one of the millennials and they grandma say something to them. Man, one of these little crazy millennials are busting their grandma. Oh, let's not go to the alphas and the Z's. The alphas and the Z's, oh, they fighting grandma. Like me, I'm 42. Man, I had a grandkid. Me and grandkid, we about to hook. You know, this little boy think man, granddaddy, oh, I'm going to try him. Let's say 20 years, 10 years from now, I get some grandkids, they get to be 10. They get a little height on them. Man, granddaddy, man, I'm not disrespecting. Nah, man. And then I'm putting my grandson down if you do that. Like, dude, this is what we doing nowadays, man. Like, come on, man. It can't be life. It can't be life. I'm sorry. It can't be life. But I'm gonna get off of here, man. Hey, like they talk about drink responsibly, man. Y'all carry yourself responsibly. Don't be out here trying to fight nobody grandma. Don't be out here trying to fight your family. Don't be out here doing none of this crazy stuff. Because like I said, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. But shout out. Shout out to everybody. You know, as time go on, just saying, getting everything together. Once again, we here, we gone. Peace.